Y'all, welcome to episode 2 of This Road Leads to Healing. Last episode, if you joined me, it was basically an introduction to a little bit of peek into my childhood, some of the things that I've endured that I felt like made me want to even start talking about this in the first place. My hopes of connecting with individuals that are going through real life things, real life-ish, it's time, it's just time to peel back the onions. I don't know how deep God is going to push me into this thing. Some of the stuff that I do decide to talk about will be more personalized to people that are actually engaging and want to truly build a community. Everything is not for the internet. Everything is not just to entertain people and have everybody in my business or anybody else's business. I want people to feel safe, comfortable, and knowing that what we discuss is our business, it's the community's business. So the more engagement I get, the more buzz, of people that are actually interested in taking this thing deeper. We may have more Zoom conversations. I may take this over to an in-person type of environment. I don't know. I know me, I have the potential to go and think too forward. But right now in this season, it's about being in the moment. It's about letting God work. It's about, if the doors just stay here, that's fine too. Whatever it may be, I'm open, I'm willing, and I'm able. I do want to start this thing off with a quick prayer. I just want to really set the tone and the intention behind this, and I just want God to use me. So bow your heads, or however you feel. If you're driving, don't do that, but get into it. So Lord, I just want to come to you and say thank you. Thank you for the opportunity to just speak, the opportunity to use the words that you have put inside of me to heal, to uplift, to bring empowerment. Lord, use you in me. Overtake what it is that you want me to say. Let this be your words and not mine. Allow me to dig deep within myself and speak from a way that, only you can do, God. This is not about me. This is not about what it is that I'm going to gain. This is about the community. This is about healing. This is about touching someone. This is about saying something that becomes confirmation for the next. This is truly about a journey that is going to allow people to break generational curses off of their life, Lord. Anybody that is enduring anything, I pray that they are touched in this time together. I pray that they are healed. I pray that their mind opens up and their eyes allows them to move and see in things that they've never seen and moved in before. God, this is your will. This is your will and your way. Use me how you only can use me. In Jesus' name, amen. All right, let's get into this thing. What's up, y'all? I'm going to just keep it real with you. Healing, it's not always pretty. It don't always feel good. And if I'm being real, it's not always the first choice. If we could avoid it as long as we could, we would. But after you reach a certain point in your life, you realize this just don't feel good. I'm tired. I'm tired of being tired. And that's when you decide that healing is a priority. Because it is. It's to me the same lessons over and over again. That was my awakening to knowing look, it's time to change. It's time to address the things that I've been scraping under the rug. It's time to really look in the mirror and realize I'm called for more. I'm better than what I've been given. I'm better than what I've been doing. I'm just better in general. And I believe you are too. If this is resonating with you, if this is calling to you, it's because you know too. You know you can be better. You know that there's more inside of you. You know that you have been called to do things that you have yet to do. God has a plan for you. He has a plan for all of us. Are you ready? We're going to get into it. Basically, I wanted to really jump into the fields of healing. So after we have addressed, some of these childhood traumas and other areas in our lives where we feel all right, this is a problem, or this is an area where I just desire to be better. Maybe no one else is complaining about this, but I'm holding myself accountable for it. Maybe I'm okay, there's no problem with me cursing. I mean, everybody's cursing, right? But every time I curse, it don't sit well with me. I feel like I've been asked to not curse. It may not offend nobody. No one maybe never even complained to me, but I know within myself that this is something I don't want to do. That to me is when you're realizing that there's a shift going on inside of you. Those are small things. You know, maybe it's overspending. Maybe it's being impatient. Maybe it's, not being emotionally available. Like, whatever the thing may be, it's I got trust issues, I got trust issues. Listen, if you are a full-grown adult that has been using trust issues as an excuse to not be yourself or 100% yourself in relationships, but you're still allowing yourself to be in relationships, even if it's a friendship or a relationship, that's on you. It really is. Like, it's a responsibility that then has to be addressed within ourselves. Like, hey, go get some help. Let me get some help. Like, I'm using this as a crutch basically now to not have to 100% show up with people, not have to hold myself accountable for, somebody giving me their all and I'm not giving them the rest. Like, just things like that. Like, only we know within ourselves what it is that we need to work on in order to be a better version of ourselves. But in the midst of addressing those things, it's something that I had to learn, that healing isn't linear. Like, it's not a one-way street. Sometimes you go forward and then you fall back and bust your whole behind. Sometimes you go forward and you slide a little bit. Some days you just sit there and it's like, God, this is all I can do. I can't even move. Just all I can do is sit in it. And that is a real feeling too. So the thing about it is giving grace, and that's the hardest thing to do. Like, especially me, I'll speak for myself. I'm the type of person, I'm very critical of myself. I always have been. Very, very critical. Like, I'm going to find all the things wrong with something, even if nobody else sees it. I'm going to find that about myself. And so because I was like that with myself, I in return was like that with other people. Always being critical. Even when I'm imperfect, I was super critical of everybody else. And that's a problem. It's like, it's not my responsibility to be that critical of anybody else or myself. Like, dang, where's the grace? Where's the understanding that, hey, this may be your first time experiencing this. It's my first time at least remembering my life. This is my first time being an adult. This is my first time being 33. This is my first time being, in a serious relationship. Or this is my first time being any first time thing that it may be. And with that, it's like, there has to be a sense of, all right, along this journey, as long as my intentions, and I'm gonna use that word a lot because I'm very, very big on intention at this point. Like, what are your intentions? What are my intentions? I'm not doing nothing if my intentions or the intentions are not pure and good anymore. There was a phase, there was a time, but at this point in life, whether people acknowledge that and realize it or not, your intention behind something, it sets the mood for what you're going to get back, first and foremost, but also what you're going to give and how you're going to deliver. So in either way, like, intention behind anything is the key to going to the next step in healing. What type of intention do I have in this? Okay, my intention is to address these concerns, give myself grace and patience to know that I might fall short here. I might have a great month and then have a terrible week. I might have a great day and then have a terrible day. I might have a great hour and then have a tough next 5 hours. But that's okay too. And a lot of this I learned over time, but especially in therapy. That allowed me to really realize like how unrealistic a lot of the expectations was that I had on myself. And some of you may be experiencing that as well. Like, the expectation to always get it right on the first try is unrealistic. You don't know what you don't know. The expectation to always say the right thing is unrealistic. The expectation to know the answers is unrealistic. The expectation that somebody is going to respond the way you want, act the way you act, be how you are is unrealistic. Everybody has their own way of showing up for another person. And as long as that intention is not negative, grace has to be given. A lot of us are linked with people and we're not their friends. So we don't have grace for them. We don't have patience for them. And we don't have understanding for them. And that to me makes the world of a difference on how you deal with somebody and how you heal with somebody and how you deal with yourself and how you heal with yourself. Intention is everything. To me, it's one of the most important things. What's your intention? You know, if this person is my friend, this person is a good friend of mine, I know their characteristics. I know how they typically show up. I know how, they are in their own lives. So if they do something that don't align with how they normally treat me, I got to take a step back and be like, okay, I didn't like this, baby. I'm questioning you right about now. But hold on. Because typically, you mean me well. Typically, you show up for me. Typically, you're patient with me. But this time, you fell short. And that, we have to do on ourselves. Hold up. Typically, I'm a nice person. Typically, I have patience with people. Typically, I mean well. But this time, I fell short. Let me give myself some grace. Let me give this person some grace. I know I didn't mean it. I know you didn't mean it. I know I can do better. I know you can do better. Let's have the conversation. Let me look in the mirror and figure out how I can handle the situation differently next time. It all aligns. How we treat ourselves, what we feel about ourselves. Sometimes we project that on other people. And sometimes we can be better to others than we are to ourselves. That's real too. That's some real-ish. I could go forever and ever on that topic, but I think you get what I mean there. Like, it really is a mirror reflection. It really is, again, intention-based and just wanting and desiring and putting forth the effort to address the different concerns. Take a list, write out the areas. And if the list is 2 pages long, guess what? I get it, it's overwhelming, but it's 2 pages long. You don't have to tackle every single last one of them at the same time. Sometimes it's just about, okay, what is the most detrimental? Like, what do I need to fix, or I won't make it to next year or next month or tomorrow? What is really impacting my health, my wealth, my spirit, my mind, my peace? Like, those things typically tend to be the top of the list priority. Once those things are addressed, then okay, I only have the capacity for one of these things. Every day, I'm going to be intentional in one area. If it's impatience, every day. I normally cuss this person out when they say something slick to me. But today, I'm going to give you grace. I'm doing this. And sometimes I have to say, I'm doing this for me, not for you. Who only you knew. I'm doing this for me. It got nothing to do with you. Because you deserve everything that's in my mind to say or do to you. But because I know I'm called to be better, I'm giving you the grace that I wish you would have gave me. And I'm going to show up differently. Only because I know whose I am and where I'm trying to go. And sometimes that's literally the only thing that'll carry us to the next phase. Another reason that our circumstances are hard to get past is because in reality, we're waiting for somebody else to give us the okay or to acknowledge that they caused some type of pain in our lives. Look, I know from personal experience, as I shared in the last video, a person who was supposed to be a stepfather in my life chose not to. And that played a heavy role on my life as a kid. But as an adult, when I addressed the situation and I, called them out for it and just asked for acknowledgement, like apology on it. Baby, you think I got that apology? You think I got accountability? I got told I tried to pick you up and you told me to put you down. That's literally the response I got. A grown man told me that as a child, he tried to pick me up and I told him to put me down. And that man said, okay, I'm putting you down forever. Like, that's crazy to me, right? Those type of responses can set you off. But at some point, you realize, and I realized, like, oh, you don't want to acknowledge your faults. You don't want to see your wrongdoings. You don't even probably believe you did anything wrong. Okay, And as hard as that was for years, by the time I got to that space, I had to tell myself, like prior to even getting to that space, like I had to tell myself, if I never get acknowledgement, if I never get an apology, if I never get any type of anything from this person, I have to be okay. Because despite how hard this person tried to break me, baby, you could never. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm still blessed. I still got people around me that love me. Like, there are too many great things in my life to ever let a person or a situation that has no stronghold on me to date to really affect my life, my next steps. Like, that was a part of my life, a big part of my upbringing and my mental, and even some of the like strength that I may have today as far as not being affected by things, you know, particularly easily anymore. But that person can and will not have any type of authority over me. Like when you see people like that, like it just made me really be like, damn, I'm so sorry that that's you are stuck with you. You know, sometimes you really got to be like, damn, a person is truly stuck with themselves. And that's the hardest thing for them, whether they know it or not. To know you're stuck with yourself when you don't even want to grow, want to heal. So sometimes when you're addressing a person and they don't give you what you want or what you think you need in the moment, you have lost nothing. You have lost nothing. A person like that, whatever your situation may be, that don't want to acknowledge their own wrongdoing, baby, that it wouldn't mean nothing even if they said they was sorry. You know, it really wouldn't. Like we think, and sometimes, okay, I guess maybe I'm not going to say for everybody, sometimes a sorry can make you feel a bit better, I get it, but it shouldn't have that type of impact on whether or not you can get up and keep going. A sorry is just that. And honestly, it don't mean nothing if a person not going to change their behavior. What is a sorry if you're going to get up the next day and do the same thing to somebody? What is a sorry if they don't mean it for real? Like, what is a sorry is an action. I've had to learn that. Sorry is an action. It is you putting forth different behavior to show that you are actually sorry. Then that's the same thing with self-healing. Sorry for ourselves is, all right, you ain't got to worry about me doing this no more. Not that I won't ever make a mistake, but you don't have to worry about this being our norm. We're going to fall short because that's just humanity. But eventually, this muscle's going to be so strong that temptation has no stronghold here. There is nothing that could break this thing that's been cultivated inside. And that takes time. And a lot of times, myself for sure, it's like, okay, I'm ready to heal, and healing looks like I never feel this way again. Ooh, my therapist had to work with me on that one. Healing don't look like anything in a box. Like, it's no cookie cut thing for anybody. Maybe somebody's healing does look like they're over it and they never are affected by it again. They never show emotion about that thing. They don't even think about that thing. Maybe there are certain areas in our lives that's okay. You know, I rode my bike when I was 5 and so-and-so said he wasn't going to let me go or she wasn't going to let me go, and they let me go and I got my legs scraped up. But I forgive him. It's all right. I ain't thinking about it no more. That's minor. It didn't have a strong hold or impact over one time. But embedded trauma, embedded hurt, and physical bruises and pain, baby, that sticks with you for a while. And maybe forever. And maybe it's not about learning or knowing how to throw it off and never ever feel it or deal with it again. Maybe it's about being able to carry that thing with you and knowing like, okay, you're here, but you don't affect me like this no more. Not how you used to. Every time I look at you, I don't crumble. Every time I hear your name, I don't feel shame. You know, it's like, but I know how to deal with you now. I know that you were once and you're no longer in control. And that's kind of what it's about. You know, it's literally just a journey to becoming stronger and becoming more capable of being and coexisting with the things that we have no control over anyway. there's always going to be a trigger. There's always going to be something to remind you of something. And that's whether it's great or not so great. But I think that focusing more, and this is kind of shifting into like, okay, so now we're in the trauma, we're understanding how it's impacting us, we're understanding how carrying it puts a stronghold on us. What happens when we don't get an apology? How do we move forward? And now that we're moving forward after knowing, hey, sometimes that's just not possible. Now I gotta carry this thing. Okay, I can carry it. It's getting easier to carry. It's getting lighter. Triggers. Okay, I know that this triggers me. Now I can remove myself from certain things and certain people that I know mean me no well and would intentionally put me in a position to feel away. Leave them people alone. Leave those things alone. They'll be all right. And if they don't, God got them. Because it's not your responsibility to carry people. And especially not people that don't want to do the work themselves or that use you as their punching bag. And not even physically, but emotionally and verbally and all things. Spiritually. All things. You have no place for them. But to draw back to what I was getting at was basically replacing a negative thought with a positive thought. Baby, again, intentionality. Intention is key because it's not something that's going to be easy. I have to do it all the time. Intrusive thoughts, now that's real. And we all deal with it unless you're just a chipper person that'll never have nothing negative. I don't know what you got, but please teach me because I'm willing to learn. But intrusive thoughts is a thing for majority of us. And sometimes we don't even know where they come from. They just pop in your head. It's like, damn, I wasn't even mad. But once they come, I'm like, okay, so that is an option. So that is a real option. But it's not my reality. And actually, instead of focusing on this, you know what? Something great could happen too. I'm going to now put the energy into the great thing that could happen. This is a reality. This is an option, sure. Yeah, but I'm going to focus on this. Because I think I like the way this feels better. I would rather think about the positive. I would rather put the energy into the positive. I would rather envision the positive than harp on a reality. If both of them could happen, why not focus on the good thing that could happen? Because our brains are programmed to chaos. It's programmed to survival. It's programmed to, that could happen because maybe it always happened, but as an adult, that does not mean we're stuck in the thing that used to be. We create our own futures. And it starts here, it starts here, and then we go here, and then we go here, and we embody it. That is my, interpretation of how everything flows. I get it from the source, I plug it into mine, I plug it in my heart, or vice versa. Sometimes it starts in your heart and your mind catch up. Sometimes it starts in your mind and your heart catch up. To me, I don't feel like there's a key that is, the perfect map. Map. There's no perfect map to that. When you know that you have experienced a different journey from somebody else, be open to the fact that your road may look a little different than the person next to you. I want to end this thing off with a scripture. I'm going to look this way because I'm going to read it and then I'm going to come back to you guys. So, Matthew 4:23. Jesus heals physical, emotional, and spiritual infirmities. And for me, I think that, it's self-explanatory. If you're in the scripture, you're in the Bible, and you read the stories where Jesus physically heals individuals through their faith and through his authority, through Jesus' authority being connected to God. Now that spiritual healing, it's all pertaining to to me, I believe it's like a personal relationship that you have with God. You're tuning in, giving your worries to God, allowing yourself to just lay them at God's feet and cry if that's what it looked like. Like, God, this is beyond me. I can't do it. I don't know what to do. I've had them. On my knees, boo-hoo crying, baby. I just take it, Lord. I don't know. Why? Why you think I'm your strong soldier? Why you think I can carry all of this? Why do you want to use me like this so bad? But the more I realize how much of an honor that is and how that stuff led me here and led me to whoever this might touch, I ain't saying I want to go through it again, but I'm okay with the fact that I had to. Because if it means that I could be a light to somebody else and be a beacon to somebody else, then that healing sometimes is what that's all about. That healing is what it's all about. Read that scripture and really feel for yourself like what it means for you. Some people take things and they're like, it's literal. Everybody's going to be physically, emotionally, and spiritually healed all the time for everything. That's not reality. That's not what that looks like for everyone. It's not. Every single person don't always get the thing that they think they're going to get in the way that they're going to get it. Physical healing may mean you walk again, but maybe you got a limp. Spiritual healing may be you're at peace and connected way more than you've ever been in your life. But there is something that you're going to have to work at and push through and fight through. That's your journey. That's your struggle. We all have our struggles. I don't know if anybody will ever be struggle free. Hell, even Jesus had struggles. So we all have our cross to bear. We all have our thing that we have to continue to stay connected to the source so that we can push through and get through. I'm not going to sit here and act like I know the word to the T and I know everything. I'm not doing that. I'm on a journey too. And that's something I hope that everybody remembers. I'm on a journey too. We are forever evolving. In the next 10 years, I may see something different. I may feel something different. My in-tuneness will be deeper and different. So because of that, I want to be careful that I don't come across as a know-it-all teaching you the right and only way to do anything. No, not at all. I'm giving you my experiences, learned experiences, and I'm hoping that in sharing different ways that you could approach a situation, that if it resonates with you, maybe try it. Go for it. Try that thing. Because sometimes we are at a point where what you've been doing ain't working. What I was doing wasn't working. And somebody had to say something and it's like, shoot, what do I have to lose? I'm already at rock bottom. Let me just try it. So that is episode 2, y'all. I really hope that you're still tuned in. If you are, thank you so much. Thank you so much for sticking through it. And I hope that you find healing. And I hope that you are, empowered and motivated to do what you gotta do, baby. Let's do it. Let's heal. All right. Have a good one. We gonna laugh. We might cry. And most importantly,